This is the brand new 6th generation iPad mini, and out of everything that was released yesterday, the thing I'm most surprised about. After using this for about 24 hours around the house, I found it to be a better around the house tablet than the iPad Pros I've been using for the last 3 years. So then I started to wonder, can I use this new iPad in a desk setup? Hey, I'm Jerry, and in this video, we're going to see if it makes any sense to use the iPad mini 6 in a desk setup, including an external display, keyboard, and mouse. And what about other external devices? So let's get right into it with a USB-C dock. So the dock that I have today is this CalDigit USB-C Soho dock. This little guy packs a big punch in a tiny little package. It's actually pretty convenient to have in a bag for a MacBook or an iPad, or in a little mini iPad desk setup like this. On the front side, you have a couple of SD card slots. You have a USB-C port and a USB-A port. On the side, you have a USB-C port for connecting to your laptop or iPad. And on the back, you have two options for video out. You can use either HDMI or DisplayPort. And of course, you can do pass-through charging to your device through this Soho dock. So to get started, we're just gonna connect the DisplayPort connection to the back of the CalDigit Soho, and we're gonna connect the iPad via USB-C. And in just a couple seconds, we should have a display on the external monitor. And there you go. So now you have a much larger display to be able to view the content from your iPad mini. So no matter what app you open, it should display on the external display. And some apps actually do a really good job. They have the option to display some things on the external display and some things on the iPad, like LumaFusion, which we'll get to in just a moment. But as nice as it is to have an external display for your iPad mini, it's still kind of difficult to use because you just have to reach up and touch the iPad. Or you can bring out the Apple Pencil to make it a little bit easier to swipe back and forth or to tap buttons. But the better way, of course, is to go ahead and add an external keyboard. I just happen to have this Apple Magic Keyboard with Touch ID, which no, the Touch ID still does not work with an iPad. Even though this iPad 4th generation, 6th generation, has Touch ID built in, you still can't use external Touch ID. These are for Macs only with M1, unfortunately. But you can, of course, pair the keyboard with Bluetooth, which I have done, and now I can use keyboard commands and run around and type and do whatever I need to do with the keyboard. I also have an Apple Magic Trackpad here paired to the iPad, so then I can control and manipulate the screen with the trackpad versus reaching up and touching the screen on the iPad mini. And it might be a little hard to see the cursor, so let's go ahead and add some color to the cursor, make it a little bit easier to see. So we'll just go into accessibility and pointer control, and we'll add a color. There we go, red, and make it, there you go. So hopefully you can see that a little bit better now. With the Magic Trackpad, it's really nice because you have a lot of the swipe gestures that you would imagine. So 3-finger swipe to go home, 2-finger swipe between home pages, 2-finger swipe down to get to Siri search or Spotlight search, and 3 fingers to swipe between previously open apps. So that all works really well. I like using an external trackpad with an iPad, whether it's the iPad Pro or in this setup with the iPad mini and an external display. Now, having a mouse and keyboard attached to your iPad really does give it a more desktop feel. So we can just open up Safari, we'll just go to apple.com, and you can swipe up and down with 2 fingers on a web page like you would expect. You can just navigate around. You can use 2-finger swipe to go back on a web page. It works extremely well, and Safari on iPad OS is really good. In fact, I have a whole video about how to make your iPad feel more like a desktop or laptop computer, and really, the secret is using Safari, more Safari, less apps. We can go over to YouTube and we can click on a video and watch it, and everything works really well. We can go full screen and then take it back out. We can do picture-in-picture. So there's all kinds of great things you can do using the iPad with an external display and an external keyboard and mouse. And if you are somebody that prefers a mouse to a trackpad, you can do that as well. You can pair a mouse, any Bluetooth mouse, almost any Bluetooth mouse, because the 1st generation Magic Mouse does not work with the iPad and iPad OS. But most Bluetooth mice work just fine. And you would just pair it in Bluetooth and then you have full mouse control. The Magic Mouse does have swipe gestures, so you can go left and right, but you do lose out on some of that functionality, that extra functionality that the Magic Trackpad has with the 3-finger gestures and up and down and swiping between apps and things like that. I also have this Microsoft Surface mouse that only runs around $25 or $30. That works pretty well. If you already have a mouse that you like that's USB, you can use that with the iPad as well. This is a Logitech M510 mouse that comes with a little USB receiver. And because the Soho dock has USB connections on the front, I can just connect the USB receiver to the dock And now I can use this other non-Bluetooth mouse. And it works really well, and you can customize some of the mouse settings so you can change what the buttons do on the side if you want. All right, so let's say you're in a Zoom call and you need to take some notes for the meeting you're in. You can go down here and you can tap on the app to open it up and then create a new note, or you can just swipe up from the bottom right of the iPad and get to Quick Notes. And because you have a trackpad and a keyboard, you can easily start taking notes. Meeting notes for today. Steve is not getting things done. Come on, Steve. I mean, it's really simple to do, and it feels good, and it's fast. And you can use whatever Office apps you like, whether that's Microsoft OneNote or Microsoft Word, or you can use Google Docs, or you can use Apple Pages, God forbid. But regardless of the app you're using, the keyboard and trackpad are going to work really well with the iPad mini in a desk setup. And you can do even more by having this USB-C Soho dock. You have an SD card reader on the front. So here's an SD card reader that I've loaded up with a number of pictures. We can go down to Apple Photos using the trackpad, go to the SD card, select the photos that we want to import. Let's say we need these ones, and import. And there we go. Now we've been able to import photos from the SD card over to the iPad mini, which is awesome. And you can go even further than that. This is a CalDigit Tough Nano SSD. It's USB-C, so you can connect it right to the front of the CalDigit Soho dock. And you don't have to use CalDigit. These are just things that I have in my office. There's plenty of options on Amazon for docks and hubs and SSDs like this Samsung T7, which I use and recommend as well. But with an SSD connected, you can now go into the Files app and transfer files back and forth between the iPad and the SSD. So now we can just use the trackpad to open up the Files app, go over to the Blue Tough Nano SSD, and let's go ahead and copy this folder over to the iPad itself. We'll just do move. I think it's about 200 megabytes in size. We'll move it onto the iPad, copy, and that fast the copy is done. So we can go over to iPad, and now we have all of these pictures on the iPad itself, which we can then import into the Photos app if we want. Or you can do even more with that, right? You can open up LumaFusion on the iPad with the bigger display, and now you can edit in a much bigger format than just trying to use this smaller display on the iPad itself. And with the newest versions of LumaFusion, you can actually edit off the SSD itself. So you can copy files from the SD card through the iPad to the external SSD, and then in LumaFusion, you can point it to the SSD as your file source location and edit the videos or create videos without taking up all the storage on your iPad. So you can go with the smaller 64 gig iPad mini if you want and still use LumaFusion and just edit off the external SSD. And if you had any concerns about using the iPad mini as like a video editing device or photo editing device, this thing has got a ton of power with that brand new A15 chip. I haven't done any benchmarks yet on the new iPad or the A15, so probably for my review I will get some knocked out, but it feels really good. I don't think you should have any concerns about being able to use this, and there really shouldn't be any performance issues. So if we just drag a clip in from the SD card, we can get it in here, move it around, do whatever we need to do. We can edit things, and it all feels really good using with an external keyboard and mouse. I like it a lot. So let's see, can we do some color? I haven't used LumaFusion in a little while, but you know what? It's fine. I did mention earlier that LumaFusion can actually have something different displayed on the external display versus the internal display. And you can do that by tapping this button up here. So now you basically get the whole preview window only on the external display, and you can scrub through and do your work down here and have a full big canvas for review. And beyond mice and hard drives, you can also connect a whole host of new things like external audio equipment, specialized devices, or even an Ethernet adapter. The experience of using an iPad at a desk with a trackpad and keyboard is actually really good. Most apps take advantage of keyboard shortcuts and swipe gestures on the trackpad. You can fly through the web. You can knock out Word documents with ease and edit text and easily grab exactly what you need with a pointer on the screen. You can swipe through email super fast using the trackpad, and everything just works extremely well. I like this setup actually quite a bit. And there's one other thing you can do with it as well. If you like to game on your iPad but you want to use an external controller, you can do that. You can pair like this Xbox One controller and open up a game like Call of Duty Mobile and get your butt kicked on a bigger display instead of just relying on the little built-in display. But let's see what we can do. Hey, I'm doing all right. How about that? Oh crap. Yep. They're gonna get me. They're gonna get me. They're gonna get me. Oh, they got me. Now there is one caveat to this whole setup, and that is audio. So when you connect a display to an iPad, the audio tries to route out through the display. So you either have to connect speakers or headphones to the display itself and use the audio controls in the display, or you have to use some kind of external headphones like AirPods to be able to get audio from the iPad when connected to the external display. Other than that, this is totally doable. You could make the iPad mini your one tiny little all-in-one computer that you can take on the go, and it will work. It will do all the things that you need it to do, as far as an iPad will go. But what do you guys think? Does this setup make any sense, or is this something you're definitely going to try out? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be doing a review in the next week or so if you have any questions about the iPad mini 6, you can definitely hit me up on Twitter and ask those questions there as well. Subs and thumbs, and I'll see you next time.